Have you ever walked into a room full of people, laughing, talking, absorbed in their shared reality, and felt a quiet, almost imperceptible hum vibrating beneath the surface? A feeling that everyone else is playing a game with rules they all tacitly agreed upon, but you missed the memo? Maybe you're sitting in a meeting, or listening to a news report, or just having a casual conversation, and suddenly you see the structure. You see the invisible wires and scaffolding holding up the narrative, and you realize, with a sudden chilling clarity, this is all a collective fiction. If that describes you, if you often feel like a tourist in your own life, carrying a torch that casts shadows others don't want to see, then this conversation is for us. Because what if the feeling that everything you believe about reality is wrong is actually the first sign that you're finally seeing it, right? This feeling, this subtle alienation, isn't a personality flaw. It's a sign of profound perceptual health. Think of society as a vast, beautifully intricate hall of mirrors. Most people are content to look into those mirrors and see only the reflections they've been told to see. The successful career, the perfect family, the right political alignment, the accepted definition of happiness. These reflections become their reality. They build their homes, their identities, and their entire lives around these agreed-upon illusions. But you're different. You're holding a mirror up to the hall itself. You're seeing the glass, the dust, the slightly warped angles, and the hidden gaps between the panels. You see the mechanics of the illusion. And here's the challenge. When you see the scaffolding, you can no longer fully invest in the stage play. This is why you feel misunderstood. When you try to explain what you see, people think you're being contrary, difficult, or pessimistic. You're trying to describe the frame, and they're demanding you admire the picture. It's a lonely place, this space of quiet knowing. It's the constant, subtle friction of living a life based on genuine inquiry while being surrounded by people living lives based on accepted answers. So let's talk about the why. Why this feeling of divergence? Because society, on a functional level, relies entirely on shared, useful delusions. It has to. Consider the entire concept of money. It's just paper, or more often, a number on a server. Its value isn't inherent. It's a colossal, worldwide collective agreement, a shared dream we all wake up into every morning. If enough people stopped believing in it, its utility would vanish overnight. The same mechanism applies to everything else: borders, social hierarchies, the importance of a particular job title, the meaning of a luxury brand, or even the prescribed path of success that tells us we must get the degree, buy the house, and retire. These are all collective fictions. They are rules of the game designed for cohesion and efficiency. They are not the truth of existence. And here is the core message for you, the one who feels different. Noticing this truth is both a burden and a profound gift. The burden is the isolation. You see the limits of the game, but you have to keep playing for survival. You recognize the fragility of the dream, but you can't wake everyone else up without being dismissed as mad. But the gift is freedom. When you realize the rules are invented, you realize you have the power to step back and choose which rules you wish to abide by and which ones you can gently disregard. You become the conscious player, not the unconscious pawn. Let's use a couple of powerful images to ground this abstract idea. The dancer imagine life as a cosmic, sprawling dance floor. Most people are moving to the beat of a single, deafening drum. They follow the prescribed steps perfectly in sync, never questioning the choreography. You, however, are the conscious dancer. You hear the main drum, yes, but you also hear the subtle underlying symphony, the wind, the distant cosmos, the quiet ticking of the ultimate reality. You realize that you can follow the main beat, but you can also choose to improvise. You can execute the steps while holding an inner knowledge that this is just one dance on one floor in one brief moment. You are not required to believe the dance is the only thing that exists. Your movement becomes more graceful, more genuine, because it's rooted in choice, not compulsion. The ripples. Now, think about what you do when you speak your truth. When you drop a stone of genuine, authentic truth into the still pond of conventional thought, you create ripples. Most people only see the immediate splash, the disruption, the disagreement, the perceived negativity. They try to smooth the water back down. But you, the ripple maker, know that the ripple travels outward, touching the furthest shore, changing the surface of the entire body of water, even if it's no longer visible at the center. Your subtle shifts in perspective, your quiet refusals to adhere to the nonsense, your choice to value sincerity over social gain, these are the ripples that influence the collective dream. They tell others, who also feel the quiet hum, that they are not alone. You don't need a loudspeaker, you just need to be unapologetically authentic. On one hand, there is the isolation. You are the one who sees the strings, and that can feel profoundly lonely. There's a natural grief in realizing that you will likely never find another person who sees reality in precisely the same way you do. Your vision is unique, and sometimes that unique vision comes at the cost of deep conventional connection. But on the other hand, there is the liberation. When you stop needing the shared fictions to validate your worth, you achieve an incredible internal freedom. The fear of failure, the compulsion to please, the anxiety over status, these dissolve because you know they are merely anxieties about the rules of the game, not the nature of your soul. The resolution lies in understanding this. You are not leaving the world. You are simply realizing the world is bigger than the box you were told to live in. You don't need to choose between isolation and conformity. You choose integrity. You commit to living a life that honors your internal compass, even as you navigate the external map created by others. So how do we live as the aware traveler, the conscious player, the one with the torch, without becoming a recluse or a bitter cynic? It requires 3 key practices: patience, humility, and playfulness. 1. Patience, the long arc. Be patient with the consensus. Don't expect people to drop their deeply held illusions because you spoke a single truth. Their reality is a comfort blanket they've clutched since birth. Change happens slowly over years, not minutes. Practice the art of the gentle response. Instead of fighting the illusion, sometimes it's wiser to simply observe it, nod, and change the subject. Conserve your energy for the things you can actually change: your art, your relationships, your inner life. 2. Humility, the unseen gap. Cultivate profound humility. Because you see the collective fiction, you may be tempted to feel superior. But remember this crucial insight: your unique perspective has its own blind spots. You see the wires in the societal structure, but perhaps you're missing the profound beauty and function of the illusion. Everything you believe, even your current understanding of reality, is just a better fitting hypothesis. It is not the final, capital T truth. Always maintain a gap in your knowing. Always be willing to say, I could be wrong. This protects you from turning your gift into a new kind of prison. 3. Playfulness, the game of life. Finally, embrace playfulness. Since you know this is a game, a shared dream, a cosmic stage play, you are free to enjoy the absurdity of it all. Stop taking the fiction so seriously. Approach your career, your finances, and even your inevitable failures with a wink and a shrug. Play the game with skill, not with your entire soul. This playfulness is your ultimate defense against the burdens of isolation. It allows you to participate joyfully without ever being completely consumed. Be the person who can laugh at the pretension, appreciate the costume, and remember that when the curtain closes, the only thing that matters is the integrity and authenticity of the role you chose to play. If you've made it this far, you've confirmed what you already knew. You are not broken. You are simply awake. You carry that torch of inner awareness. Sometimes it burns too brightly, attracting misunderstanding. Sometimes you want to extinguish it just to blend in with the shadows. But don't, because that light is not just for you. It is the only thing that guides you toward authentic connection. It is the only thing that can pierce the fictions and show you what is truly real: love, sincerity, creativity, and the deep shared mystery of being alive. Stop trying to force the world to see what you see. Just focus on seeing it clearly yourself. Let your life, lived from this place of conscious awareness, be the validation you seek. And remember the quiet hum, the subtle vibration you feel when everyone else is lost in their mirrors. That hum isn't static. It's the sound of your own soul speaking to you. The feeling that everything you believe about reality is wrong is simply the sound of reality calling you home.